A couple of days ago, I listened to Bringing It All Back Home by Bob Dylan. I figured out why people got so crazy about Dylan going electric. And I got to be honest, ever since I listened to that album, it's really all I can think about. So I thought I would hop back in, like way sooner than I revisited Bob last time, with Highway 61 Revisited. Now, I'm told that Bringing It All Back Home, Highway 61, and Blonde on Blonde are like one of the strongest trilogies of albums ever. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I also noticed as I was looking, March 22nd, 1965, and then this album released August 30th of 1965. So we're talking, 4 months there? 4 months removed, one to the other. So I'm pretty excited to check this one out. As I'm flipping through the tracks, of course I know Like a Rolling Stone, but just being honest, I think I know it more in its commercial context. I've genuinely never just sat down and sought out to listen to the song Like a Rolling Stone. But if I heard the song, I could say that's the song it is. Looking through the rest of this, though, I think Desolation Row is a cover of a song I know, because The Watchmen, My Chemical Romance did Desolation Row, and my guess is, since the movie opened with a Bob Dylan song, it's probably the same song, and I feel like I recall in the comment section that that's another one of those things. I mean, maybe there's more on it that I know, but right now it's looking like certainly the only one I'm familiar with is Like a Rolling Stone. So guys, yeah, I'm gonna hit the play button on this thing. Before I do, just a couple of things to note. I have to pause the song as I go through it, because otherwise YouTube will not allow me to upload the reaction. If it can be seen as a suitable replacement for listening to the original content, I'm effectively stealing. So do forgive me if I'm a verbose individual and I have a lot to say about the songs. It is a commentary channel. Besides that, though, guys, this is album number 5 in my Bob Dylan chronology. So let's see what this is about. I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button, because it does go a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come discover music with us. I'd love to have you by. We'd all love to meet you. Guys, without further ado, and seemingly jumping right off and in with the biggest song, Like a Rolling Stone, I'm actually kind of interested to read the lyrics, because the only bit I know is like a rolling stone. But I probably sang that poorly too. Here we go. Sorry. Actually, real quick, before I get started, look at this guy. Look at this shirt. Look at his little thing. This just seems like a really far removal from this guy. They seem like such different guys. We're talking like a full 2-ish years, so maybe 2 years change is a lot, but they just kind of look like totally different dudes. I'm gonna start the 6 seconds over. I happened to notice that. Here we go. I love the organ here immediately with the other extra instruments too. Kind of seems like, is there like a banjo or something?
Once upon a time you dressed so fine, threw the bumps of dime in your prime. Then people call, say beware doll, you're bound to fall. You thought they were all kidding you. You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't.
I love the ragtime piano
seem
behind
so
it.
Proud about having to be scrounging your next meal. How does it feel? How does it feel
like a rolling stones. That was really dumb of me. I gotta be honest, when I look at the lyrical take, it's such a different song to me than any of the times I've ever heard it in its commercial context. Once upon a time, you were dressed so fine, threw a bomb at a dime in your prime like you were feeling generous, didn't you? People say, beware doll, you're bound to fall. Like, hey, when you're on top, you know, it's like the Zarathustra says, you know, like, what's left for me when I get to the top of the mountain but lightning? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, hey, if you're feeling on top of it, you're going to fall. Nietzsche. But you used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud. So like in this context, you have fallen about having to be scrounging for your next meal. And then this, how does it feel like, where he kind of frames the question. And again, just like a complete unknown. Like, to be without a home like a complete unknown. What a line. Like, it's so much deeper a song than I'd ever given it credit for. And it kind of makes me sad now as I'm reading this, feeling like years and years and years of commercialized music has turned some really, really, really great music into white noise to generations. And it's occurring to me that Dylan is very likely a part of that white noise of my life growing up, that it was just, I didn't even notice it because it was just like a thing that had always had its hands in music as long as I'd been alive, to the point that you don't even necessarily see where it all starts. It's crazy. And again, the lyrical depth has just got me really hit here.
Your next meal, how does it feel?
I love that part, dude.
How does it feel?
And this organ in the back.
To be without a home, like a complete unknown.
What a way to phrase that.
Like a rolling stone. Oh, you've gone to the finest school, all right, Miss Lonely, but you know you only used to get juiced in it.
These leads in the background, it's crazy how even further removed this is from the folk scene, and how like just significantly more, like this feels like it's a band that you're listening to and not like, you know, a couple of guys in a room. There's a chemistry to the sound of it and the way everybody's playing. Like there's a raw feel to the sound. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I can't decide if I think they did this. It sounds to me in my ears like they did this all in a room at the same time.
Juiced in it.
Like they didn't track it.
Nobody's ever taught you how to live out on the street, and now you're gonna have to get used to it. You say you never compromise with a mystery tramp, but now you realize he's not selling any alibis as you stare into the vacuum of his eyes and say, do you want to make a deal? How does it feel?
Gosh, this uplifting
How
thing.
does it feel to be on your own with no direction home? A complete unknown, like a rolling stone. Oh, you never turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did tricks for you. Never understood that it ain't no good. You shouldn't let other people get your kicks for you.
his lyricism is hitting me so hard.
On a chrome horse with your diplomat, who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat. Ain't it hard when you discover that he really wasn't where it's at? After he took from you everything he could steal. How does it feel? How does it feel to have you on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone? Princess on the steeple and all the pretty people, they're all drinking, thinking that they got it made, exchanging all precious gifts. But you better take your diamond ring, you better pawn it, babe. You used to be so amused at Napoleon in rags and the language that he used. Go to him now, he calls you, you can't refuse. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel?
There's such a raw chemistry to this
How
band.
does it feel to be on your own with no direction home,
Man.
like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?
I couldn't bring myself to stop it after a little while. Just, I had to let him cook. This really was hitting me deeply to my core, guys. And I think it's one of those scenarios. Sorry, I noticed my camera got weird for a moment. But I think it's one of those scenarios where it's like you see yourself in the lyricism, and it's hard to, it's hard to argue that, like, his words kind of write like omnidirectionally, right? Like, it's kind of written to where anybody can put themselves into it. It's music that goes all directions, so to speak. There's this conviction that he sings with, right? Where he's just like, okay, right here.
You never turned around to see the frowns on the...
He's got the frowns. He's got this rasp at the back of his voice, right? Like, you never turn around.
You never turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did tricks for you.
The way he articulates, it's weird because it's like not how people talk, but you feel conviction in its delivery, right? Like, you can understand the emotions coming through it. And then just even, there's so many like little wisdom nuggets, right? Like, you should never let other people get your kicks for you. Like, you need to be doing that yourself. And I found, as I was kind of reading through this, there was this moment where he really wasn't where it's at. After he took everything from you, everything he could steal, how does it feel? Like, to have on your own with no direction or home, like a complete unknown. In the way it delivers, honestly, the way it's hitting me in just my position of life right now, it kind of reads to me like there is a liberating feeling about having no direction or it being a complete unknown, right? Like you're a rolling stone, like you're going down a mountain, you haven't come to your place of landing yet, like you haven't come to your place of rest yet. And it's almost kind of like it's a comment on like enjoying the journey more so, more than the destination, regardless of the fact that you're kind of rolling, and regardless of all of this other stuff. It feels like this song kind of presents a way to see this directionless phase as a good thing. Like in my place of life right now, I've recently rescinded my application for a promotion at work when they asked me to take it, because it didn't feel like authentically me. It's like, it was a wonderful career opportunity, but it's not what I wanted, right? And literally, in talking to my boss about that and letting him know about what I've done here with YouTube and music, and just telling him, like, this is this thing I'm passionate about, and I feel like if I take this promotion, I'm not gonna be as happy as I would doing more with that. And for him to be so supportive, I was so lucky. It was really one of the greatest conversations I've ever had. And that was just like a couple of weeks ago. But again, there was this liberating feeling like I gave up a certainty to pursue something I wanted, like a complete unknown. Like, I don't know. There's, I think, maybe a liberation in that when you ask how it feels. And like, when you're invisible, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel? Like, when you have nothing left, it's like, feels better, doesn't it? Like, I don't know. Like, this song really, really, really touched me. I've never listened to the lyrics before. I'm so moved.
How does it feel? How does it?
I also can't get past just the band. I'm hearing this organ, these keys in the background, and it feels raw and dirty. Like, it feels like they all played it live. Like, it feels like they're not always in perfect time, but it adds a layer of like authenticity and dynamic to it. Like, it's just these people that are just making this music 'cause they just like to make this music. It's like the rawness is part of the beauty to it.
To be on your own, with no direction home, like a complete unknown.
I love his delivery so
Like
much.
a rolling stone.
This was so good. That's why this has been such a big song for so long. It's so good. All right, Tombstone Blues. Woo.
The sweet, pretty things on betting, of course. The city fathers they're trying to endorse. The reincarnation of Paul Revere's horse. But the town has no need to be nervous. The
Wow.
ghost of Belle Star, she hands down her wits to Jezebel and Nun. She violently knits a bald wig for Jack the Ripper, who sits at the head of the Chamber of Commerce.
I like that he throws his rhymes sometimes, but I also like that it like adds a layer of, he takes his writing more seriously than the rhyme, and that there's just something really cool about it. This has got such a fun kind of bluesy rockabilly energy to it. Doon doo doo doon doon doo. Like in the bass line. Forgive my little burp there.
Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
Yeah.
The hysterical bride in the penny arcade, screaming she moans, I've just been made. Then sends out for the doctor, who pulls down the shade and says, my advice is to not let the boys in. Now the medicine man comes and he shuffles inside. He walks with a swagger and he says to the bride, stop all this weeping, swallow your pride. You will not die, it's not poison. Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
The Tombstone Blues, like, you know, it feels like it's a way of saying I'm grieving the death of somebody. I would really be interested in your lyrical context or interpretations here, as per usual. So throughout the video, if you happen to have any particular thoughts on lyrics, please do let me know. That makes it kind of one of the best parts about reacting to Dylan is like the conversation of the words. You know, if anybody summarizes words and music, it seems to be this man. But I definitely find... I feel like the Tombstone Blues is a commentary on grieving death. I also find it interesting that Mama's in the factory and Daddy's looking for food in the alley. The energy's a lot of fun here. Definitely, again, kind of a rockabilly bluesy thing. Like, you know, kind of a 12-bar sort of... The guitar solos, though, it really got me psyched. It certainly sounds like out of time sometimes. Like all of the guitar, the bass, and the bass seems to be like primarily in the left ear, but it feels sometimes like it's not perfectly syncopated, and that adds another level of a rub to the fun of the song to me. Like it sounds like it doesn't have to be completely perfectly computer time for it, like in computer time. To make it work. There's just an energy to it of performance, even in the way you listen to it, right?
Looks up at his hero, the commander-in-chief, saying, "Tell me, great hero, but please make it brief. Is there a hole for me to get sick in?" The commander-in-chief answers him while chasing a fly, saying, "Death to all those who would whimper and cry." And dropping a barbell, he points to the sky, saying, "The sun's not yellow, it's chicken." Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes.
This reminds me of a Jack Kerouac lyric, a Jack Kerouac verse. And don't you know that God is Pooh Bear? It certainly reads kind of like homage to the beatnik writing. You know what I mean? The sun's not yellow, it's chicken. I would also very much be interested to know what you guys think about that particular line. I gotta know.
Saying the sun's not yellow, it's chicken. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
That bend up, man. I love that noise.
King of the Philistines, his soldiers to save. Puts jawbones on their tombstones and flatters their graves. Puts the Pied Pipers in prison and fattens the slaves. Then sends them out to the jungle. Gypsy Davy with a blowtorch, he burns out their camps. With his faithful slave Pedro behind him, he
These leads behind him.
with a fantastic collection of stamps to win friends and influence his uncle. Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food.
Is this like a Hammond B3 behind him? Like, is that a B3 organ I'm hearing?
I'm in trouble with the Tombstone Blues.
I love that tone.
The geometry of innocent flesh on the bone causes Galileo's math book to get thrown at Delilah, who's sitting worthlessly alone, but the tears on her cheeks are from laughter. wish I could give Brother Bill his great thrill. I would set him in chains at the top of the hill, then send out for some pillars and Cecil B. DeMille. He could die happily ever after.
Can somebody give me context on Cecil B. DeMille?
Mama's in a factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
The lead parts are so good. What guitars is this? Is that, I feel like I'm hearing a Telecaster on the bridge pickup sound there, but I don't know what kind of amplifier would be plugged into that. How did whoever played that guitar solo, or any gearheads, how did he get that tone?
Well, Ma Rainey and Beethoven once unwrapped the bedroll. Tuba players now rehearse around the flagpole. And the National Bank at a profit sells road maps for the soul to the old folks' home and the college. I wish I could write you a melody.
That his conviction of delivery. He come with that yell at the beginning.
To the old folks' home and the college. I wish I could write you a melody so plain that could hold you, dear lady, from going insane. That could ease you and cool you and cease the pain of your useless and pointless knowledge. Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
It definitely feels... Those lead parts there were so nice, but it definitely feels a little bit like there was, I don't know, like... what am I trying to say here? Like the timing was off a little bit throughout this song. I liked the energy. I liked it, in the way it kind of pumped, had this sort of train vibe going, but there was definitely something that just wasn't like singing to me in the timing. I felt like a little bit too much of a rub in some parts for me, but I really enjoyed that song. I gotta use the bathroom. Be right back. Let's get back into it. It takes a lot to laugh. It takes a train to cry. Love the ragtime piano.
Can't buy a thrill. Well, I've been up all night, leaning on the windowsill. Well, if I die on top of the hill, and if I don't make it, you know my baby will.
Oh man, yes.
Don't the moon look good, mama, shining through the trees? Don't the brakeman look good, mama, dragging down the double E? Don't the sun look good going down over the sea? But don't my gal look fine when she's coming after me?
This is such a cool song, and then like there's a little bit of like a swagger going, like don't my gal look fine when she's coming after me? Like he's kind of got like a little bit of feeling pretty good about myself. Ain't she fine? Like proud of his gal, but this uplifting yet build up part right here.
Don't the sun look good
as it's descending here, but somehow uplifting the mood. You get that lead.
I look fine when she's coming after me.
Just such a good part, dude. I want to jam with this. This transition was.
The winter time is coming. The windows are filled with frost. I went to tell everybody, but I could not get across.
Here, they're gonna do another Descent uplift.
Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss. Say I never warned you when your train gets lost.
I love this. He's like, look, I'm not trying to boss you around. Like, I just want to be your partner. Like, don't take this off the tracks. I really love this, but there's something really interesting about how the music descends as his voice ascends, right? There's this really interesting, it's going both ways, and it pulls you just magnificently into the song.
Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss. Don't say I never warned you.
And then you have that drum
when your
run.
train gets lost.
It's so good, dude. And you get these ripping harmonica parts. All of this instrumental with the different parts, the harmonica, the lead in the back, it's just so good. Wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your boss. I think my favorite part of this whole song was this bit.
Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss.
I even just the way he sings it. I don't wanna be your boss.
Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss.
He's got such a weird cadence with his delivery, but it makes such a tasty part.
Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss. Don't say I never warned you when your train gets lost.
It makes so much sense to me hearing these, especially this song and Bringing It All Back Home, like the album Bringing It All Back Home, the electric parts. It makes a lot of sense to me that jam bands would use these songs as vehicles to jam, right? Like, you've got just this nice 12-bar kind of bluesy walk down where if everybody knows the key and the timing, they have the ability to be improvisational as long as everybody's familiar with the framework of the song. And so it's interesting to see how these things would evolve to be so relevant to music. In a lot of its aspects, not just albums, like not just single songs, but live performances. From a Buick 6. The organ sounds are making me really happy this whole album.
Graveyard woman, you know she keeps my kids, but my soulful mama, you know she keeps me here. She's a junkyard angel and she always gives me bread. Well, if I go down, you know she's bound to put a blanket on my bed.
This whole album has so far felt like it was just a bunch of people playing in a room without like really worrying about too much of anything other than just getting the song done the whole way through beginning to end. Like there isn't a massive like it doesn't feel like everybody is in time with one another, but it also doesn't have to be. And I know I've commented on that a lot, but I cannot not hear the chemistry in the room that they've got, even though some of it's off. It adds just a special dynamic to it, which would normally really rub me the wrong way, but in this context, I'm finding that I quite enjoy it.
Well, when the pipeline gets broken and I lost on the river bridge, I'm all cracked up on the highway and Denver water's edge. Hickox comes down the thruway, ready to sew me up with a thread. Well, if I go down, you know she's bound to put a blanket on my bed. Well, she don't make me nervous, she don't talk too much. She walks like Bo Diddley and she don't need no crutch. She keeps this 410, oh, loaded with lead. Well, if I go down, you know she's bound to put a blanket on my bed.
He comes in with these soaring harmonica parts. This whole thing has been different. Again, I think when you hear the way his voice evolves, when you have even more of a band, there's some kind of different cool guy swagger vocal delivery that he has with it. But like his rock and roll sort of persona that his voice delivers is significantly different than his folk music protest songs persona, but they're both distinctly like Bob Dylan, but it's like, I don't know, it's like finding a different, I don't know, I don't know, man. He just put on a different hat that day and has a different superpower as a result. Another fun song with energy, another kind of bumping, a screaming harmonica. Yeah, these are good. There's just, I feel like I've just really enjoyed all of the albums a little bit more each time I've gone through, which is kind of funny to me because it's like, you know, I thought the protest song, like the when I saw that Elvis documentary at first, and I saw that video of Dylan doing his protest songs, and I thought I should listen to old Bob Dylan. I didn't quite know what all was going to come out of it, and I certainly didn't think I was going to have this unique ride of like this folk artist goes electric, goes like more electric. And like the more electric he goes, the more my heart swoons. I didn't think it was going to be a journey like that, Ballad of a Thin Man. Let's check this one out. The ragtime piano kind of sound. Kind of sounds like it could be a Bond song. Slash the Doors.
You walk into the room with your pencil in your hand.
Ooh.
You see somebody naked and you say, who is that man? You try so hard, but you don't understand just what you will say when you get home.
Ooh.
Because something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Ooh.
You raise up your head.
There's kind of like an homage to the early psychedelia music that was coming out at the time, but like this also feels like maybe not quite psychedelic, but there's certainly something to this. There's a little bit more of a mustard to it than certainly his other stuff, like in kind of the low vibe. I'd love to know who this Mr. Jones, is a reference to. But there's an ominousness to this that he's conveying really well with the music.
Do you, Mr. Jones?
This instrumental breakdown is so good.
You raise up your head and you ask, is this where it is? Then somebody points to you and says, it's his. And you say, what's mine? And somebody else says, well, what is? And you say, oh my God, am I here all alone?
Ooh.
But something is happening and you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? You hand in your...
The reverby guitar leads in the background are so nice, and when they're accented with this organ sound that just has this kind of minor key tug on your heart, which again kind of lends into that ominousness. I mean, there's just atmosphere to this song for days, and I feel like it's one of the first songs I've heard, maybe the first song of Dylan I've heard where there was like it's the first atmosphere of its sorts that I'm hearing in his music. I'll say it that way.
You hand in your ticket and you go watch the geek, who immediately walks up to you when he hears you speak and says, how does it feel to be such a freak? And you say, impossible, as he hands you a bone. And something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Please give me your lyrical interpretation of this.
You have many contacts among the lumberjacks to get you facts when someone attacks your imagination.
Wow.
But nobody has any respect. Anyway, they already expect you to all give a check to tax-deductible charity organization. You've been with the professors and...
he adds, it's like he takes some lessons from his time as a folk artist and he applies them to this thing in rock and roll. One thing I've commented about in his folk sound is that he's got this really interesting use of meter where he will like carry the meter longer than it seems like it should go and add like a few extra measures before transitioning into the next part of the song. And he does that with the rock band as well, but it adds like a different kind of thing when there's multiple instruments. And like sometimes you're like he takes the stanza and he makes like a really long stanza, like, and you know, in this context anyway, they already expect you to give like this part here.
Anyway, they already expect you to all give a check to tax-deductible charity organization.
Like you added that whole extra part just so he could say the line longer, right? He could have found a way to fit it. He's certainly a good enough lyricist to do so, but that's not what he wanted to present in the song. And that is cool to me.
You've been with the professors and they've all liked your looks. With great lawyers you have discussed lepers and crooks. You've been through all of F. Scott Fitzgerald's books. You're very well read, it's well known. But something is happening here and you don't know what it is.
Ooh.
Do you, Mr. Jones?
This is the most developed sonic soundscape of any Bob Dylan song I've heard to date. In my journey for sure, and I love it. And even though it like has its own bombastic element to it because some parts of the timing are off, it like creates this extra little bit of tension and rub that really adds a special dynamic to a song that presents such an overt ominousness. And I'm sick of me saying that word now. Forgive me, but. Golly, this is maybe like a Rolling Stone hit me really hard because I could see myself in my place of life. But this one, buddy, this album is so good. I'm already looking. It's 5 for 5.
Well, the sword swallower, he comes up to you and then he kneels. He crosses himself and then he clicks his high heels. And without further notice, he asks you how it feels.
That seems like it could be an homage or being self-referential back to like a Rolling Stone.
And without further notice, he asks you how it feels. And he says, here is your throat back. Thanks for the loan.
Whoa.
And you know something is happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? Now, you see this one-eyed midget shouting the word now. And you say, for what reason? And he says, how? And you say, what does this mean? And he screams back, you're a cow. Give me some milk or else go home.
I can't separate the way this writing plays out from like the beatnik writing. Like, Kerouac feels like it's all over this to me. Like, especially like the Subterraneans, it kind of reminds me of, like, not just On the Road, but like if you ever read any of his work, like in the Dharma Bombs or Big Sur, like significantly less Big Sur than like the Dharma Bombs or Subterraneans or in this context, yes, On the Road. But it feels like there's certainly beatnik inspiration to this.
And you know something's happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? Well, you walk into the room like a camel, and then you frown. You put your eyes in your pocket and your nose on the ground. There ought to be a law against you coming around. You should be made to wear earphones, 'cause something is happening and you don't know what it is.
This song was so good.
Mr. Jones.
This might have been one of my favorite on the albums, and I have no idea what it meant or means, but it's just good music. Oh. The way they did the board fade and just let them have, like, let the instrumentalist just go ham there at the end was a lot of fun to me. I think I already like it better than Bringing It All Back Home, which is kind of crazy because I loved that album. But I mean, this is just, and I said it last time too, that when he went electric, it just felt like a little bit more of a digestible nature to me. And I saw some interesting comments saying, like, you know, it seems that way to you because you've always known rock and roll that was shaped by Dylan. Like, music doesn't exist as I know it if he wasn't the musician he was. But if I've never looked into who Bob Dylan is, right, you don't see those connections. But when you go back and you do start listening to these things, and you start seeing how big the shadow it is that he actually cast, and you start realizing, like, all of this stuff that you've loved your whole life is actually falling under the shadow of a much bigger inspiration. You know, it's kind of crazy. And then to hear this, which has the beginning of so many sounds that I would go on to fall in love with and, like, have owned the majority of my attention when it came to music, it's kind of special. And I don't think there are that many musicians out there that this kind of thing could be said about. For whatever that's worth. I mean, who's British Bob Dylan, you know? True, real question. I'm just, you know, that's... Okay. Queen Jane, approximately. It reminded me of, like, a little Beatles intro there. Not that it was, but it reminded me of it.
When your mother sends back all your invitations, and your father to your sister, he explains that you're tired of yourself and all of your creations.
Wow.
Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Now when all of the flower ladies want back what they have lent you,
this piano, din-din-din, I love it.
now when all of the flower ladies want back what they have lent you,
Right there.
and the smell
It almost sounds like steel
of
drums.
their roses does not remain, and all of your children start to resent you. Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Now when all the clowns that you have commissioned have died in petitioned have died in battle or in vain, and you're sick.
Oh, I love that part.
All this repetition. Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Oh, when all of your advisors heave their plastic at your feet to convince you of your pain, trying to prove that your conclusions should be more drastic. Won't you come see me, Queen Jane?
His music is riddled with characters, you know, like you've got actually, and I think it's maybe because there are so many characters that you have such an easy time connecting imagery to his writing. Like, I don't know who he's talking about when he talks about Queen Jane, but in my brain, it's like I kind of create this character that somehow seems like that they fit the Queen Jane role, if that makes any sense at all. And I find I do that with a lot of his music.
Won't you come see me, Queen Jane?
That piano run. This harmonica, dude. This harmonica's so good. Gosh. That might have been the Bob's best harmonica solo to me, or like moment of harmonica work. Golly goodness.
Love the bandits that you turn your other cheek to. All lay down their bandanas and complain. And you want somebody you don't have to speak to. Won't you come see me, Queen Jane? Ah, won't you come see me, Queen Jane?
You know, the thing with his harmonica work in this particular album is that he really overblows it a lot, right? Like, instead of just hitting like he's really, and then like as he's pulling in, he's hitting more than just the hole or two he's intending to on the push and the pull. And it's just got this very, very, very rough and dirty kind of sound to it that fits the vibe of the album just so perfectly. And again, it's just in that like kind of overblown, like very breathy, harping, like you can tell he's just putting all of his lungs out and then pulling them all back in as he's breathing back in through it. It's just it's weird, but it's got like it makes his harmonica playing feel like there's more conviction to it as well, and I've just really enjoyed that. So okay, High 160, the titular song. We got the title track. Here we go. Whoa, what is that noise that I just heard there? What was that?
Oh, God said to Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, man, you must be putting me on. God said, no. Abe said, what? God said, you can do what you want, Abe, but next time you see me coming, you better run.
So it's like an Abraham and Isaac scenario, and he's talking about like the scenario where God tells Abraham to go and take Isaac and sacrifice him at an altar, which he eventually does not do because God provided a ram and a bush to turn around and sacrifice instead of his son. Just wanted to see if he'd be willing to. Blah, blah, blah. See how dedicated... Not the point of the story. The point of the story is I didn't see him kind of transitioning into like, you run.
I say you can do what you want, Abe, but
again, to this 12-bar blues sort of thing.
Well, Abe said, where you want this killing done? God said, on down Highway 61.
Where you want this killing done?
Well, Georgia Sam, he had a bloody nose. Welfare department, they wouldn't give him no clothes. He asked poor Howard, where can I go? Howard said, there's only one place I know. Sam said, tell me quick, man, I got to run.
This is amazing.
Oh, Howard just pointed with his gun and said that way down Highway 61. Well, Mac the Finger said to Louis the King, I got 40 red, white, blue shoestrings and 1,000 telephones that don't ring. Do you know where I can get rid of these things?
Okay.
And Louis the King said, let me think for a minute, son. Then he said, yes, I think it can be easily done. Just take everything down to Highway 61.
I want to know what Highway 61 is potentially meaning.
Now the fifth daughter on the 12th night told the first father that things weren't right. My complexion, she says, is much too white. He said, come here and step into the light. He says, you're right. Let me tell the second mother this has been done. But the second mother was with the seventh son, and they were both out on Highway 61.
Somebody please give me a lyrical. I don't even know what I think about this, but I think it's been one of my favorites on the albums. The energy behind it, like, it feels like he's potentially kind of playing around with the idea of what happens when people go overboard with their religious beliefs and like completely give up reason and you know in place of like what they interpret to be misguided faith. I don't know, just my interpretation of it, but it's done through this like kind of cheerfully melancholic uplifting blues.
Gambler, he was very bored, trying to create a next world war. He found a promoter who nearly fell off the floor. He said, I never engaged in this kind of thing before, but yes, I think it can be very easily done. We'll just put some bleachers out in the sun and have it on Highway 6.
they're trying to promote a world war, and he's like, you know what? Just put some bleachers out there and have everybody watch. That'll be perfect. That last little bit of the song really kind of made the song for me, with the big old like middle finger to the meat, like to just this idea of like advertising and promoting war on TV and media. Oh my gosh. What is that noise? That song was fantastic. Just 2 more songs. This always gets so sad as we get to the end of the albums. Just like Tom Thumb's Blues.
When you're lost in the rain in Juarez, when it's Easter time too, and your gravity fails and negativity don't pull you through.
Wow, it's like, that's real bad, because you're lost in the rain in Juarez at Easter. Also, like, in addition, when things are bad, when you're in this scenario too.
Don't put on any airs when you're down on Rue Morgue Avenue. They got some hungry women there, and they really make a mess out of you. Now if you see Saint Annie, please tell her thanks a lot.
The piano work has been some of my favorite. I really have loved just this ragtime piano sound this whole album.
Cannot move, my fingers are all in a knot. I don't have the strength to get up and take another shot. And my best friend, my doctor, won't even say what it is I got.
My best friend, my doctor.
Sweet Melinda, the peasants call her the goddess of gloom.
Whoa.
She speaks good English and she invites you up into her room. And you're so kind and careful not to go to her too soon. And she takes your voice and leaves you howling at the moon. Up on Housing Project Hill, it's either fortune or fame.
Housing Project
You
Hill.
must pick one or the other, though neither of them ought to be what they claim. If you're looking to get silly, you better go back to from where you came. Because the cops don't need you, and man, they expect the same.
There's such a timeless nature to his writing, dude.
Now all the authorities, they just stand around and boast how they blackmailed a sergeant at arms into leaving his post. And picking up Angel, who just arrived here from the coast, who looked so fine at first but left looking just like a ghost.
Is he playing cross harp here? I'm interested. It feels like his harmonica work has just gotten a lot better, but it also feels like he's gone and branched out his harmonica work as well.
I started out on Burgundy, but soon hit the harder stuff. Everybody said they'd stand behind me when the game got rough. But the joke was on me, there was nobody even there to bluff. I'm going back to New York City, I do believe I've had enough.
I can't get past how much I just like his vocal delivery. Like, I'm going back to that I do believe I've had enough.
I'm going back to New
You
York
believe
City,
him.
I do believe I've had enough.
Like, it's just, if you feel it, you believe it. Last song, it's Desolation Row. And like I said, I think I know this one. The one I know is certainly not 11 minutes. But last song. In Americana.
Postcards of the
Hang on, just let me. Desolation Row. Grateful Dead, Bob Dylan, songs. My Chemical Romance did it for The Watchmen. This is the one I am familiar with. I'm not familiar with The Dead doing it. For a moment, I thought that was Iggy Pop, but no, it wasn't.
They're painting the passports brown. The beauty parlor is filled with sailors. The circus is in town. Here comes the blind commissioner. They've got him in a trance.
Kind of sounds like more of a folk song again.
One hand is tied to the tightrope walker. The other is in his pants.
With an acoustic accompaniment playing lead.
They're restless. They need somewhere to go. As Lady and I look out tonight from Desolation Row.
The Riot Squad, they're restless. They need somewhere to go. The phrasing of that is... We've got these people here ready to mess somebody up. We gotta let them do it.
She seems so easy. It takes one to know one. She smiles and puts her hands in her back pocket, Betty Davis style. And in comes Romeo, he's moaning. You belong to me, I believe. And someone says you're in the wrong place, my friend. You'd better leave. And the only sound that's left after the ambulances go is Cinderella sweeping up on Desolation Row.
The comments of Desolation Row. I like that it could be multiple perspectives.
Now the moon is almost hidden. The stars are beginning to hide. The fortune-telling lady has even taken all her things inside. except for Cain and Abel and the hunchback of Notre Dame. Everybody is making love or else expecting rain.
Wow. This concept, everybody else is honestly in that he juxtaposes these characters that we're all familiar with from different stories and ends up making them come together within the point he connects. But then this idea, everybody else is making love or else expecting rain. Like, so they're doing something because it's important, or they're not doing something that could be important because they're expecting rain. Wow.
And the good Samaritan, he's dressing, he's getting ready for the show. He's going to the carnival tonight on Desolation Row.
And that concept, like the Good Samaritan, a person who does the right thing for the sake of it being the right thing, going to a place where there's a whole bunch of bad stuff, and that like being Desolation Row, and it's like it's a carnival because he's going there to like do something like good for the sake of it being good, it's going to be fun to help all of these people. Again, in his religious imagery throughout this album, there's definitely, it feels like a wrestling with religious idealism or the way he sees religious idealism and the way it affects the world. I'm interested.
Ophelia, she's neath the window. For her I feel so afraid. On her 22nd birthday, she already is an old maid. To her death is quite romantic. She wears an iron vest. Her profession's her religion.
Her sin is her lifelessness.
And though her eyes are fixed upon Noah's great rainbow, she spends her time peeking into Desolation Row.
I love the parlor guitar sound that's playing the leads behind Bob's rhythm here. It's so nice, like these finger picking sounds from the higher pitch parlor guitar that you're hearing more in the right ear. But this concept of being an old maid on your 22nd birthday, and her death is quite romantic. She wears an iron vest. Her profession's her religion. Her sin is her lifelessness. And it's that line, her sin is her lifelessness. It just hits me so hard. Like, it's just as much a sin or a waste of life to give up and not allow yourself to live your life. And I think maybe that's where I found myself in the last chunk of time, is like kind of getting out of this funk and recognizing like there are things I still want, there are passions I still have, and just because I'm not like chasing some career goal anymore, that doesn't matter. I can still find a way to kind of live my life and not sin by living in lifelessness. And I like that. And may you not just sit in lifelessness. May you go out of your way to try new things, find ways to be happy. Do not sit in lifelessness. Please and thank you. Like, try something different, dude. It's changed my life. Give it a shot.
Einstein disguised as Robin Hood, with his memories in our trunk. Passed this way an hour ago with his friend, a jealous monk. Now he looked so immaculately frightful as he bummed a cigarette. Then he went off sniffing drain pipes and reciting the alphabet. look at him, but he was famous long ago for playing the electric violin on Desolation Row. Dr. Filth, he keeps his world inside of a leather cup, but all his sexless patients, they are trying to blow it up.
Oh, I don't know what this might mean.
Now his nurse, some local loser, she's in charge of the cyanide hole, and she also keeps the cards that read, "Have mercy on his soul." They all play on the penny whistle, you can hear them blow. If you lean your head out far enough from Desolation Row.
Well, if you happen to have an idea at what the Dr. Filth chunk of lyrics mean, please do let me know. Give me literally just Dr. Filth, your understanding or interpretation. Please and thank you.
Across the street, they've nailed the curtains. They're getting ready for the feast. The Phantom of the Opera in a perfect image of a priest.
Again, the juxtaposing of characters that have nothing to do with one another into the song.
Here, spoon-feeding Casanova to get him to feel more assured. Then they'll kill him with self-confidence after poisoning him with words.
They'll kill him with self-confidence after poisoning him with words.
Some shouting to skinny girls, "Get out of here if you don't know." Casanova is just being punished for going to Desolation Row.
Man. I cannot get past how good then they kill him with self-confidence after poisoning him with words. Oh. Like bad people aren't born, they're made, you know?
All the agents and the superhuman crew come out and...
Maybe I shouldn't say that about humans. It's not universal, but I don't know. I'd say the 99.9% of the time, bad people aren't born, they're made.
Round up everyone that knows more than they do. Then they bring them to the factory where the heart attack machine is strapped across their shoulders, and then the kerosene is brought down from the castles by insurance men who go check to see that nobody is escaping to Desolation Row. Praise be to Nero's Neptune, the Titanic sails at dawn. Everybody's shouting, which side are you on? Then Ezra Pound and T.S. Eliot fighting in the captain's tower, while calypso singers laugh at them and fishermen hold flowers. Between the windows of the sea where lovely mermaids flow, and nobody has to think too much about Desolation Row.
his overblow here. By far Bob's best harmonica work album. Thus far.
Yes, I received your letter yesterday about the time the doorknob broke. When you asked me how I was doing, was that some kind of joke? All these people that you mentioned, yes, I know them, they're quite lame. I had to rearrange their faces and give them all another name. Right now, I can't read too good. Don't send me no more letters, no.
Wow.
Not unless you mail them from Desolation Row.
I feel like Desolation Row could mean so many different things based on all of the different connections he made to it. Is it trying to say that, like, everybody is in Desolation Row from time to time, and we need to be more considerate to those that are, but also be cautious to yourself because people are in Desolation Row? I don't know how I feel about it. There's so many different directions it could go. But that's also part of the fun behind the song, I think, though, right? Like, is that you don't have to know what it means. And it could mean something different to you at any given different point of time, depending on where you're at in your life. There's something beautiful about that.
Yes, you mail them from Desolation Row.
They just keep getting better. The harmonica work really just psychs me. Dude. Bob friggin' Dylan, dude. Bob friggin' Dylan. This album sounded as different as this man looks from this man. You know what I mean? When you see what just a simple 2 years can do to a person, to a sound, to 2 years further with life experiences, there's I don't know, there's certainly something to that. And as I'm looking through the track list right now, I mean, truly, Like a Rolling Stone hit me so hard lyrically, but then I also really loved Ballad of a Thin Man. I really loved Highway 61 Revisited. I don't know. There the lyrical places he takes you in each album are really kind of a journey where he somehow comments on his own belief system, his political beliefs, but his political beliefs seem to be like ambiguous, and like I like that it feels like you could interpret either side of a political spectrum by listening to it, because at the end of the day, it's like he's appealing to reason and not to any sort of ideology. And I like that. You know, like, it's weird, but there's this certain ethos to his music where it's like reason presented through abstract and occasionally absurd allegory, but he again delivers it with this sense of conviction and this swagger, yet kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, he's really a bard. He really is like the American songwriter. Guys, yeah. Every album has gotten like seemingly better. It's not an exaggeration. I'm really finding that I've just enjoyed, and maybe it's because I have a bigger back catalog to reference to. Maybe it's like the journey is the exciting part. Maybe there's recency bias, but I don't think so. I feel like Highway 61 Revisited has simply just been my favorite so far. It's not. Well, it may have had my favorite song. Like a Rolling Stone feels like a cop-out to say it's my favorite Bob Dylan song because it's the biggest one. But I feel like in a lot of ways, having just heard the lyrics for the first time today, it was like the first real time I heard the song. Like, of course, I knew of it, but it feels like I did not really know the song Like a Rolling Stone. Anyways, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.